Hello and welcome to 4000 and Counting. I'm Watty. This is Mark. Don't forget, we are brought to you by our good friends at Hurricane e-bikes. Glasgow Clan. They have finally made some announcements. All we had heard so far was, Peacock was leaving and taking on the GM role at Solway. Other guys were bouncing. Liam Stenton again went to Solway. But they have made some news. Michael O'Rourke from I think it's LTD Media, is now the club's new owner, and they have appointed Jason Morgan as head coach and head of hockey operations. 44-year-old Canadian guy, 44 games experience playing in the NHL. Since then, he's went on to coach in Hungary, in Germany. He coached the team that Ben O'Connor played for in Romania for a couple of seasons. So he's been about a little bit in Europe, Asborg Pirates in Denmark as well. So he's experienced plenty of hockey leagues across Europe. He's obviously been in the DL2 Markets League we've spoke about quite a lot recently. This is obviously like a kind of sideways move for him. You said the team that off air we were just talking. You said the team that he'd been with in the DL
third bottom last season.
We're close to the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, so just looking on last season.
His playing pedigree, on the other hand, so let's get into that a little bit before we talk about his coaching pedigree. So his playing pedigree, he went through the OHL, and straight from the OHL, he finished there and played 3 games in the NHL as a rookie, straight out of major junior. Then split some time between the IHL and the East Coast, then back up to the NHL with the LA Kings. Time spent between the A, the I, and the coast again before getting another call up, this time with Calgary Flames. Later on, he had a call up with Chicago Blackhawks, played 7 games with them, 4 games with Minnesota Wild. So I imagine the man's got some hockey contacts here or there.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing as he's been around quite a few NHL organizations for a very, very long time. He then went out and played some time in Sweden, played in the Airball, played in Norway, and then kind of finished in the lower leagues in North America, played in the CHL to see it out. So we know he's been to Europe. We know he's experienced Sweden, he's experienced Norway, he's experienced Denmark, Romania, Germany. He's going to have a phone full of numbers, full of scout details, full of player details. Glasgow Clan are going to have to go back to the drawing board because what they did last year was not good enough for them.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing. Obviously, they had the situation at the start of the year. We won't go into it in too much detail or anything, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and all the fans kind of got pissed off and revolted. And they didn't really seem to recover. Malcolm Cameron came in. I believe this guy is going to be an upgrade on Malcolm Cameron. As good as he was for a post game blurb.
Interview,
yeah, just a quick 1 minute wicked, always dropping sound bites for you. But they need to do something, Glasgow Clan. Mark, is this man, Jason Morgan, the right man for the job? I know it's very early
It's an interesting one. I like seeing someone of this sort of background coming in, see how he's gonna sort of match up in the league with his contacts, with his experience now of coaching in Europe. He's gonna get a good indication of certain styles. So with that, also he'll, when it comes to recruitment, that'll be interesting. There's a few guys. You've had Colton Yellowhorn of Coventry. He was coached by him in Romania. So I don't know. I think especially being in the Dell too, that could prove quite beneficial in some ways. Maybe he could bring over a player or two who have seen someone or something. But I like the level. Dell 2 is a really good level. So to get someone from there in the UK hockey, it's not bad.
Their 5 top scorers this year were all Canadian. 4 forwards and a D-man. They were the top 5 point scorers on their roster. Will he look at stealing an import from there potentially? If so, they've got a guy that led the way, Alex Tong, He's not under contract next year. Ontario born. 4 years NCAA at Robert Morris University. Then 4 years of the coast, a year in Poland. Back to the coast where he put up 66 points in 66 games for Norfolk Admirals before heading out to the DEL2. 52 games, 59 points. That's the sort of guy that Glasgow Clan need to be trying to bring into the roster. 27 years old as well. Impressive pedigree, good stats throughout. Like a bit of an undersized guy, if you can call it undersized anymore, but 5'10", 170. I don't think it really matters anymore. There isn't any 6'5" mutants that want to punch your head in.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, it'd be interesting. Like Jeremy Williams, he played on his roster last year. He was second in the team in points. Oh, maybe not. He's 39. We don't need that in this league. Impressive points for a 39-year-old in that league, by the way. 47 points in 34 games. That's no joke. That guy's got to be in some shape to be doing that at that age. Impressive numbers. Right. So what do the Glasgow Clan need to do? Because Brits are going to be hard to come by. Where do they get their Brits from? Alex Forbes, obviously Nottingham have Nottingham, sorry. Coventry have released him. Does he go back up there?
It seems that way, doesn't it? Logically, and with numbers when we talk the Brit game, I think
each
that
team's
makes
got
sense.
To carry what, 5 or 6?
Yeah, something like that. 5,
well,
yeah.
Well, they're going to have to go somewhere. Does Jordan Bresser go back up there full time? He would be. I think he'd be foolish to do it. He showed what he could do at the national level. I think another year of just getting to play and be confident, be the go-to guy in certain situations, have a role on power play units and stuff like that. He needs that for his development. So I don't know. They need to get some veterans in.
Would County go there? Is he committed to anyone else next season?
I think it would make sense for them to keep County there. He's a hell of a player. I mean, you would want him there. I don't know. Let's have a look at who the Glasgow Clan have in their roster from last year, because there's going to be names I'm forgetting as we talk about everyone in this show. It's kind of hard to remember everybody, but their past roster from last year. So Liam Stenton's already moved on.
Yeah.
Liam Danskin already moved on. He's gone to Hull. Jordan Bresser potentially with Sheffield, potentially with Solway. I mean, I'm guessing there's going to be a few teams in the mix for him. Then Craig Peacock, obviously retired. That just leaves Harry Ferguson and Jordan Cowney. They're going to have to, and obviously a British backup. But they're going to have to find someone from some top Brits from somewhere. Where do they come from? Because I think they're going to struggle.
Could you just imagine that gap of Kieran Brown being offered something? A really good deal on the table. Could you imagine that? I
imagine there would be some. I don't know. Maybe because everyone knows he's under contract, people will just kind of respect that. And then
no, I get that. I'm just talking in the fantasy land.
No, but you would think they would respect that, but there might be someone that doesn't. You know, you hear through the grapevine that.
Just think though, when you're in this position where we're struggling to think of names, people have committed. We've had some guys retire, or whatever it may be. When you see who are the next Brits that you're going to look, well, Kieran Brown's definitely on that list. Alex Graham's now at the Steelers, so that was a great coup.
Is going to be at Belfast.
Yeah, there's still
Halbert,
a number that
rumored to be going Guildford. So if let's just say that does happen, and that could just be a pure rumor, but let's say he goes there, you're then starting to chop the guys out the top end of that National League. They're already then starting to get signed up. So where did the Clan, where did the Flyers, where did the Stars get their top Brits from? Will Rutgers go back to Dundee? That remains to be seen. I know Moore's gone back there. He's gone back to push Holder D. It's interesting what's going on up in Scotland, because what happened north of the border last year was, quite frankly, it wasn't good enough, mate. 3 teams, bottom feeders, disappointing.
Well, cup final out of 5 at the most, but that was a great achievement, by the way. But they got spanked. But
they turned over.
Still got there.
turned over Sheffield in a hotly contested semi-final. They paid their dues and got there very well, but
in the
the
league,
season as a whole, yeah, just disappointing. I would like them. There's one player I would like them to be fucking a little bit better for. Is Shane Owen, man.
yeah,
Guy's still coming back. He stands on his head. His numbers are ridiculous on like a bottom end team. Just chuck a few guys in front of him, will you? And let's see what they can do. But going back to the Brit thing, this is going to be the interesting thing with the clan. Obviously, they've got to get their imports right. That's going to be a major crucial point. But without good Brits, you know this shit doesn't work. Look at Belfast, they have good Brits. Cardiff, they have good Brits. Sheffield Steelers, they have good Brits. I mean, we could go on. Nottingham Panthers have come out the gate. They've got Tetlow back. They got Bettridge back. Coventry arguably jumped all over Nottingham, taking Hazeldine and Hopkins. Good moves for those young lads.
great moves.
So we need to look at it. Obviously, we know Jonathan McBain's gone back to Dundee actually as a full-timer this year. So there's some kids, but we need like maybe does Luke Ferrara get tempted to go north of the border? Didn't have his best season in Nottingham, but everyone knows the guy can score goals. And does he step in to fill the kind of Craig Peacock role?
Yeah, it's quite hard to sort of figure out what's going to happen Brit-wise.
Ross Venus has stepped down, so there's another guy gone. You
Yeah.
try to like place these guys about, and you can see, and this is probably going to piss people off, but I've said it before. You can see why they upped the import number.
It
We're
sort of
struggling
proves
to
it,
pick
doesn't it, right now?
We're struggling. Like, so Clan have got arguably 3 or 4 roster spots for Brits, right? Left, if we're saying County and Ferguson go back there. And we're sat here like, isn't it? We're not just signing Brits for. Don't get me wrong. They can sign Brits for the sake of signing Brits. There'll be some kid who'll go sit on the fucking bench. There will be. We know that, but I'm trying to think of someone that can go in there and make a genuine impact.
Exactly.
A Kieran Brown, a Liam Stewart, or someone like that who could genuinely go in there. Now, I did see Liam Stewart was looking for an agent. 4,000 counting agency.
Oh, that would be a good move.
4,000 counting agency. It pains me to say it, but I'm sure Rod would be quite proud of Liam playing up in Glasgow with his beloved Celtic just down the road, even though there is a picture of him on the internet in a Rangers top. Full kit wanker as well. Like, absolutely. I said it to Stewie when we did the episode last time. But like he's all up in the Celtic. So Liam Stewart to the Elite League. Is that a possibility?
That actually makes sense now you've said it.
It does make sense. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I never considered that, but yeah, good shout. He hasn't been announced by MK.
Well, and the fact that he's put, let's have a look. We seem to be reading a lot of Stewie's tweets out on YouTube at the moment. He's being on it, but let's have a little look what Liam Stewart is saying.
I like that. That'd be a nice. I welcome that.
Any agents out there want to help out? Boom, bell me. Can we just at Glasgow Clan just write in his fucking end?
Just do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Lee Jameson said he'd be his agent. Could you imagine the carnage of Lee Jameson being your agent? And if you haven't heard the story about Lee Jameson fixing Grant McPherson's car, it's on our YouTube. It's on our YouTube. I believe the clip's on there. If not, it's in Grant's episode, probably in Lee's episode, probably in Ross Bauer's episode. It's one of them stories that's funny because when you hear everyone's version of it, it's been told in the room for years and years, and then you get to hear the version of it. Obviously, Grant was a funny bastard. Ross Bauer's a funny bastard, and so is Lee. So I can imagine that being good fun. Malik Martelli. So Max Stewart is my agent. I'll send you his details. Basically, so just all the MK boys are just jumping on the bandwagon. But it looks like he's out of MK. So it's new signings for the clan. in owners and a new coach. I like the look of the new coach. I think his experience across Europe, his mixture of playing at very high levels in North America plus decent leagues in Europe is going to be beneficial as well.
Go further, go faster, get fitter. Subscribe today. Hurricane e-bikes have a great range of bikes available on the e-bike subscription plans. The cruiser e-bikes are perfect for beach rides, long distance rides, or just everyday use. The fat bike e-bikes look great and can cope with the toughest terrain, perfect for off-road adventures. The hybrids range are perfect for about town, everyday use and leisurely rides with the family. Take your ride to the next level with the mountain bike and get ready for your next power-assisted adventure.
Will he be disappointed by the refereeing standards in Scotland? Keep it current.
Probably.
That's not a dig, by the way. That's just obviously it's a hot topic. Without going into a whole new video for it, because I don't really feel the need to go into an entire new video. But Nat Halbert, he came out today.
Well said as well.
And he mentioned the referees as well. Didn't particularly single out the Scottish officials the way that Scott Conway did, but he is right. While I've been at a loss for words after many games due to the quality of the refereeing, I understand there are people trying their best who mostly are doing this part-time, and without them we wouldn't have a league. But the fans need to understand consistently poor refereeing is a huge deterrent for top players coming to and staying in this league. As someone who wants to see the EIHL grow and build its reputation in Europe, investment needs to be put into reffing, whether that's more accountability for refs, better training, or better salaries for the ref to encourage, attract higher quality reffing. The ref's job is not to make the game about him or try to win player of the match, but to set the standard for the game and stick to it while keeping players safe. Not every ref sucks, and not every game is reffed horribly, but it's the wild inconsistency from period to period or shift to shift that really frustrates the players. Improving the reffing is a necessary step for the EIHL to live up to its potential, which is what everyone wants to see. Help the refs, help the league. How do we rate that in comparison to the EIHL refs suck, the Scottish refs need to be gone? It's a bit fucking different, isn't it? Like, come on,
It's
man.
a bit of a hangover message. Well worded. You know, we said in the video before, you asked me, and I said I just think it could have been delivered better, and I think that's been done there.
Well, do you think the Elite League now take a look at it? So we're in a group chat with a referee friend of ours. He forwarded over something today to have a look at, and it was a referee course in Budapest. I think it's on reflife.co. No, reflife.hu. I think that's the Hungary one. Check that out. If not, we've shared it on all our social media. You'll find it there. €599.
Decent.
I want to read to you what this ref course entails. And if you don't think it's a good idea, you're mad, because, and I'm not talking to you, I'm just talking to the people out there. And we shared it on Twitter. And Simsy said, like, who pays for it on top of the 250,000 that's already invested in the refs? No, that's not investing, in my opinion. You're not investing in the refs. You're paying them for their time. You're paying for their flights. You're paying for their hotels. You're paying. If without them, there is no gain. That's not an investment. Investing is making sure the official skates and gloves, skates and shorts and helmets and jerseys are all sponsored and paid for. Making sure that they're going to proper training camps like the one I'm going to tell you about in 2 seconds. Making sure that every weekend there's a conference call where they're all checking in and they know what's going on and what's current. Like, there's so many good ideas out there. So it's the summer exposure camp supported by the NHL. In fact, Brendan Walkhome's dad, obviously we talked about him being an NHL official. He's an NHL vice president, director, and a director of officiating, Stephen Walkhome. So he's there. Al Kimmel, NHL director of scouting and development. He's there. Mike Lego, NHL officiating manager and scouting development. Tom Masters, NHL director of video operations. Dave Smith, NHL director of fitness for game officials. Peter Gaby, IIHF officiating coach. HIHF referee in chief, and Peter Orazag, IIHF officiating coach. Now, that's a hell of a bunch of names to be involved with. It's in Budapest, which is such a cool spot. And from what I can gather, I looked at like the lineup of what they do. So there's daily, let's see if I can find it. Daily gym sessions, daily ice sessions. Oh, here we go. 4 days of intensive education, ice sessions each day, gym sessions each day, room sessions, welcome event, NHL mentoring, in-game scouting each day, roundtable discussions, an equipment manager, in-body measurements, and then like all your other bits and pieces like your room and bits and stuff like that. But they talk about what they do is they'll be in that the room sessions. Let's say some, I don't know what's the most current. It'll be the NHL right now. It'll be the world champs. Good calls, bad calls, whatever it may be, and they're around the table and they're all discussing it and they're all improving. This is why it was called. This why it wasn't called. Why would you have called it? Could you just? That's going to improve these guys. And if they're fitter, we said it in the other video. If they're fitter and they can skate better, you're going to go on to higher levels. There's a reason Liam's done what he's done. There's a reason Joy's done what they've done.
Yeah, exactly.
Dalton looks after himself. That's why he's out in, Belfast on a Friday night, Sheffield somewhere, and then he's in Denmark on a Sunday. These guys look after themselves. But what do you think of that course, Mark? And would you? I think I looked at it. There's 40 or so officials. Now that would make it quite expensive.
40 or so officials. Let's stop you there. 40 or so officials. What leagues are these officials coming from? Because if they're coming from like the Austrian leagues or leagues of this sort of level,
the Elite League has 40 odd officials registered, maybe a little bit more, maybe 50. So I was just going to say at €600, probably quite expensive. It's like 50 odd grand. But surely you could speak to those 6 fellas.
Could they do a deal there?
Could they bring them over here and do a fucking 4-day one here?
Yeah.
Let's just say all those lads want 5 grand each. Well, there's 6 of them. Pay them 5 grand each. Get them over here. That's 30 grand. If you can invest 30 grand in your officials, plus whatever it costs to obviously hire the facility wherever you would do it, mate. The level
as long as the facility's not Peterborough, it's all good.
Or based in Stoke, mind you.
Yeah.
Or Gosport. But no, even Gosport. No, it could do it at Gosport because it's not realistic. Somewhere like Guildford would be ideal. I know they
just stick it. Yeah.
So it's local to London. They can fly in, Streatham, whatever. Obviously, it's just a bit of a pain in the ass for people to get to, but 4-day camp. Obviously, you're going to be there for 4 days. So wherever you fly into, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna be staying at a hotel anyway. But I just think it would be good for ref development. It'd be good for the Elite League. On the back of it being good for the refs.
It'd be good for everything, isn't it? It's what we need. The only way we're going to resolve these complaints is by doing something about it, and by putting them on these training camps, whatever it might be, should help. And if it's not, then we need to look at why.
Should the Elite League be looking at making an announcement, be like kind of, I would say proactive. They're not proactive. They're going to have to be reactive, but something to acknowledge very, very good players within the league coming out and stating it. Now, this is just 2. I'm sure this could end up a bit like like a bit of a movement sort of thing. If 3 and 4 happen to come out this week and say something about the officiating, could be fucking 15-20.
Yeah.
And then you got an issue. Where did the Elite League come out now and just nip it in the bud straight away? Just be like, look, we've seen the concerns raised or whatever. This is our plan. This is how we deliver it, and this is how we expect the refs to improve. But I think no matter what sport you watch, I don't know, like if you watch F1, the way the Max Hamilton Lewis thing happened the other day, the other season, where Max won and they had the crash and they reset the fucking lap, and it was just a mess, and everyone was calling for that guy's head. This is at the highest level of Formula One. Mistakes happen at NHL. This is the highest level of hockey. Mistakes happen in the Premier League weekly. We've got VAR. That gets it fucking wrong as well. Like,
Useless thing.
it doesn't matter
Hate
what
it.
sport there is. Referees going to make mistakes. They're only human beings. We've even seen some little mistakes with some of the technology sometimes as well, where the camera's not working or whatever it may be. Mistakes can happen, but the one thing that we cannot stand for, we're quite officials pro podcast on this.
Yeah.
One thing I will not stand for and back you. If you're an out of shape official, sort your fucking shit out. You've got 4 months. That's 16 weeks. If you're 20 pounds overweight, you could be down to 1% body fat in 4 months. If you really wanted to be. Go do skating lessons, go improve, go work. That's all you could ask. If you guys are investing in yourself, no different from the players. The players will be out shooting, skating, moving around, running, fucking lifting, boxing, whatever it may be. The rest should be no different. I know they're semi-professional classed as, but they've got to be fit and they've got to better keep up with these boys. Look at that McLeod from
Guildford.
Belfast. No,
from Belfast. Sorry,
yeah,
Tate from
Guildford.
from.
I'm not saying you have to keep up with these boys specifically, but that's how fast some of these guys are going to be in the league now. So you need to be able to keep up with the play. Mark, anything else on the Glasgow Clan? Anything else on Nat Halbert? Or are we done here?
Just on the refereeing thing, we do need to improve it. I think everyone would say that, and I've fucking forgotten what I was going to say.
Hey, welcome to the Conky Club, buddy.
What I was going to say is that the league is getting better. Every season is getting stronger. We've now got another import coming in the league. The league is going to be faster, and we also need to consider that everything else needs to go with it, not just the players. So the officiating does need these guys. I'm not here to throw them under the bus, but they need, not all of them, but they need training and they need to have these options. And we need a level of progression in officiating as well. We can't just look at players. That's what I wanted to say. That just came out really shit, but yeah.
No, I thought you nailed it, to be fair. You started at the start, but you got through it, my man. No, what a wicked point to leave it on. We do need investment in officials, not just the players. It's great bringing all these fucking SHL, KHL games and DL games or whoever, bringing them all over. But ultimately, the officials need to keep up with the pace of play and with the game. Consistency seems to be the issue. And hey, open invite to any Elite League officials that want to come on. Reach out. Let us know. If you want to have your say, we'd love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Would love to hear it. Make sure you like these videos, you subscribe, keep doing your thing. And we're happy to be in the YouTube partner program now. So long may it continue. These are the start of basically a series of videos that are going to run right the way through the season, where we're breaking teams down, breaking exactly what's going on, whether it be refereeing decisions, owner decisions. There's going to be lots of content to come in the 23-24 season. Stick around on the channel later this week. We'll hear my live reaction to UK Anti-Doping coming out with their very, very shit press release today. So, but everybody, you guys all know about it anyway. It's been on the channel, although the video has jumped up like 50% views in the last, I don't know, 20 hours, something like that. Since you can put it out, I guess a few new heads are looking. So if you are new here, this is what we do. We do YouTube videos. We talk about ice hockey. We talk about what's current, and we'd love you to subscribe and stick around. So please come back. If you want to help us out, go to buymeacoffee/4000 and counting. Go to the ticketlab.co.uk/4000 and counting. You get your tickets for our charity game as well. So for now, guys, peace.
Peace.